Hey guys, so here is the bench power tab. I want to introduce this metric to you. First, let me just say you can find it. It's the very last tab on this giant spreadsheet I use for statistics. So that's where it is for now, and you can find the weekly scores in the weekly tabs at the very bottom of that spreadsheet if you ever want to reference them by week. Where I bring them all here, and then I average them and rank our scores in them. Higher the better. So let me just explain what bench power is. This season I kind of want to make several different stats or metrics, I like to call them, to measure performance in different areas of fantasy football. Obviously you guys know that I especially think that having a good bench is important, but I think sometimes it gets misconstrued as having to have a ton of good players on your bench. I would rather have a good bench quarterback, a good bench running back, and a good bench receiver put up higher points than if I have a whole bench of people getting 7 points or so. So this kind of takes both of those into account. Here's how I calculate bench power. You can see it down in this box. It equals your best scoring bench quarterback, your best scoring bench running back, and your best scoring bench wide receiver in a week. So it can be different players each week depending who's on your bench and who scores higher. And then you divide that by 10. So I would say a good score for that part of the bench power would probably be around 4, because that means you got 40 points between your best 3 bench players per se. But then you also add in the number of bench players that scored 10 points or more. So this gives a team that maybe has, say, like 3 receivers on their bench that score 10 points. That's obviously probably more preferable than having one bench wide receiver that scores like 12 and the rest of your bench receivers really suck and don't do that good at all. So this kind of gives a little bit of weight towards having more good players on your bench, but this is kind of the top-heavy aspect that's important here is scoring your best player at each position on the bench, because that's really what you're looking for. If one of your quarterbacks has a bye week, you don't need 3 bench quarterbacks to fill in, you just need 1. Same with running backs, wide receivers, etc. So the goal is that if you have a higher bench power, I'm thinking you're going to be better suited to survive the bye weeks and also survive some unlucky injuries and stuff like that. So let's look up here in the bench power scores. The best average goes to Mike so far. I have a feeling that Phillip Rivers is a big part of that, but at the same time he has good receivers on his bench too. So it makes sense that he's number 1. He's averaging 7.5, which is very good. As you can see, there's better individual scores up here though. Mike had 11.6 one week, 10.6 from Catco, etc. I come in at number 2. That helps that I have multiple quarterbacks on my bench, I think, and some of the other positions are doing okay. But you can see Tony is ranked 7th, Billy's ranked 8th. So we have some teams that are pretty high up in my power rankings and things like that with some concerning bench scores. So yeah, I'm going to keep track of this throughout the season. It'll be interesting to see if they get significantly lower as we hit the bye weeks. I'm sure they will. But I have a feeling that the people with the highest average bench score at the end of the year are also the ones that are making the playoffs and competing for the championship. So we'll see if it's as significant as I think it is. We'll see how people do in this for the rest of the year. I'm going to refer to it in the regular stats videos from now on. I just wanted to explain it in its own special video. I'm going to do more of these for different things. It's not just going to be about the bench. I don't want to seem obsessive about that or anything. But if you have any questions about it, definitely let me know. I'd be happy to explain it better. I hope you understood it. But any suggestions for other stats would be good as well. And I hope you find it as interesting as I do. So yeah, if you don't, you probably know not to check any of these out anymore, but I hope that some of you found it useful and interesting, and I hope you enjoyed, so thanks.